Daily walking, particularly for 30 minutes or more at a brisk pace, stands as a highly accessible and impactful intervention for holistic health. Its widespread benefits span physical vitality, mental well-being, cognitive function, and contribute substantially to longevity, from reducing the risk of chronic diseases to boosting mood and creativity. Consistent walking serves as a cornerstone of a healthy lifestyle. The evidence-based findings presented in this report underscore walking's significant role in disease prevention and overall human flourishing. A recent major study published in The Lancet Public Health, which reviewed data from over 160,000 adults, highlighted that achieving approximately 7,000 steps per day can drastically lower the risk of major health conditions. This finding is particularly noteworthy as it challenges the popular but scientifically unproven 10,000-step target, making significant health gains more attainable for a broader population. Walking is a fundamental human movement and a commitment to 30 minutes or more on most days offers substantial health improvements. This duration aligns with general physical activity recommendations for moderate intensity, even shorter. More frequent walks can be beneficial if 30 minutes is initially challenging. The accessibility and low-impact nature of walking distinguish it from many other forms of exercise. It is a free activity, requires minimal equipment, beyond comfortable shoes, and can be performed almost anywhere, at any time, and at an individual's own pace. Its low-impact characteristic makes it particularly suitable for a wide range of individuals, including those who are overweight, elderly, or new to exercise, thereby minimizing the injury risks often associated with more vigorous physical activities. Regular physical activity, with walking serving as a prime example, is one of the most crucial actions an individual can take for their health. It represents a powerful tool for promoting healthy aging and preventing a wide spectrum of age-related diseases. Daily walking contributes significantly to the health of the cardiovascular and circulatory systems. It is well established that consistent engagement in this activity increases cardiovascular and pulmonary heart and lung fitness. A stronger cardiorespiratory system operates more efficiently, delivering vital oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. Walking, being a low-impact aerobic activity, has been consistently shown to lower blood pressure over time. Studies indicate mean reductions in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure, with longer durations and brisk paces correlating with a reduced risk of hypertension. For instance, research demonstrates that postmenopausal women who walk 1 to 2 miles a day can experience a reduction in their blood pressure by nearly 11 points over 24 weeks. Beyond blood pressure, regular brisk walking plays a substantial role in cholesterol management. It can significantly increase desirable high-density lipoprotein (HDL) cholesterol and has the potential to reduce low-density lipoprotein (LDL) cholesterol, thereby mitigating the risk of heart disease and stroke. The mechanism behind this involves aerobic exercise stimulating the production of lipoprotein lipase (LPL), an enzyme that elevates HDL levels and breaks down fatty acids known as triglycerides. while LPL's direct impact on LDL is less pronounced. An increase in HDL often corresponds with LDL reductions, as more LDL is transported to the liver for breakdown. The intensity of walking is a factor here. Moderate-intensity exercise, such as brisk walking, is effective, with higher intensity showing slightly greater HDL increases. Conversely, lower-intensity walking has minimal effect on LDL unless combined with weight loss efforts. The circulatory benefits of walking are profound. This activity dramatically boosts overall circulation. As the leg muscles contract during walking, they create a powerful pumping action that effectively squeezes blood back toward the heart. This mechanism is so efficient that the calf muscles are frequently referred to as the second heart. Furthermore, consistent walking ensures that vital organs receive the necessary oxygen and nutrients, which is critical for their optimal function and overall health. Each step taken also generates pressure waves throughout the body, further increasing blood flow, including to the brain, thereby delivering more oxygen and nutrients to brain tissues. The collective impact of these benefits is a consistent reduction in the risk of heart disease and stroke. A meta-analysis revealed that individuals in the highest walking category experienced a 31% reduced risk of cardiovascular disease (CVD), an increase of approximately 30 minutes of normal walking per day. 5 days a week was associated with a 19% reduction in coronary heart disease (CHD) risk. Moreover, a brisk or fast walking pace is linked to a 24% and 21% reduced risk of CVD mortality, respectively, compared to a slow pace. For cerebrovascular events, a faster walking pace significantly lowers the risk of stroke. The comprehensive cardiovascular benefits of walking stem from a synergistic effect on multiple physiological systems. The improvements in blood pressure regulation, cholesterol profiles, and enhanced endothelial function, the health of the blood vessel lining, are not isolated occurrences. Rather, they are interconnected with improved endothelial function, directly contributing to better blood pressure control and healthier blood flow, which in turn aids in managing cholesterol and reducing arterial plaque formation. The mechanical action of the calf muscles, often called the second heart, directly assists venous return, alleviating strain on the heart and improving overall circulation. This confluence of positive changes collectively bolsters the entire circulatory system, making it more resilient against disease. This suggests that walking functions as a multi-target intervention for cardiovascular health, where the improvement of one parameter initiates a cascade of beneficial physiological adjustments. Walking plays a crucial role in metabolic health and weight management. Pedometer-based walking programs, even without dietary changes, can lead to a modest but clinically important amount of weight loss, averaging about 1 kilogram (2.2 pounds) over various interventions. This translates to approximately 1 pound lost every 10 weeks, or about 5 pounds over a year. Research indicates that longer intervention durations correlate with greater weight change. While brisk walking alone may not guarantee significant weight loss, It serves as an effective component when integrated with mindful dietary considerations. Regular walking also significantly reduces the risk of developing and helps manage type 2 diabetes. A meta-analysis demonstrated that consistent walking at least 2.5 hours per week was associated with a 30% reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. Even accumulating 4,500 steps per day was linked to a 59% lower risk, with a notable decline in risk observed up to 6,000 steps per day. The mechanisms involve exercise increasing insulin sensitivity, allowing muscle cells to more effectively utilize available insulin to absorb glucose. Furthermore, muscle contractions during activity enable cells to take up glucose for energy, even in the absence of insulin. These processes contribute to lowering blood glucose levels in the short term and can reduce A1C levels over time. A walk after meals is particularly effective for blood glucose control. The role of walking in reducing low-grade systemic inflammation is an area of ongoing research with nuanced findings. A primary mechanism by which walking contributes to inflammation reduction, particularly relevant in the context of type 2 diabetes, is through the reduction of adipose tissue mass. Chronic positive energy balance often leads to adipocyte hypertrophy and macrophage infiltration, resulting in the release of pro-inflammatory adipokines such as tumor necrosis, factor alpha, TNF-alpha, and interleukin-6 IL-6. Walking helps counteract this by reducing excess fat mass, which in turn lowers the levels of these inflammatory markers. While skeletal muscle contraction does release myokines like IL-6, which can theoretically induce anti-inflammatory cytokines. Current evidence from acute walking bouts does not definitively demonstrate a direct anti-inflammatory effect via this specific myokine cascade. The anti-inflammatory effect appears to be more strongly mediated by the reduction of adiposity. Another factor is PGC1 alpha, a protein expressed in skeletal muscle, which is a key adaptation to chronic exercise and suppresses inflammatory responses. Its expression is intensity dependent, suggesting that brisk or higher intensity walking may be more effective for inflammation reduction through this pathway. The anti-inflammatory benefit of walking primarily arises as an indirect consequence of its effect on body composition. Low-grade systemic inflammation is a known contributor to chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, since adipose tissue or fat is a major source of pro-inflammatory cytokines. Reducing excess body fat through consistent walking directly addresses a root cause of systemic inflammation. This observation underscores that even if the immediate biochemical signaling from muscle contraction does not produce the same acute anti-inflammatory response as some higher intensity exercises, the metabolic shifts induced by regular walking, particularly weight loss, exert profound and sustained anti-inflammatory effects. This highlights the importance of walking as a long-term lifestyle intervention, rather than merely an acute exercise for its enduring impact on inflammatory status. Walking, as a weight-bearing exercise, is instrumental in promoting musculoskeletal health, stimulates bone growth, and actively helps prevent conditions such as osteoporosis. In accordance with Wolff's Law, bones become thicker and stronger. In response to stress, walking provides this necessary stress, thereby enhancing bone density and strength and making bones less susceptible to fracture. For optimal bone density improvement, particularly in the hip and femoral neck, the pace of walking is critical. A casual stroll is generally insufficient. A fast or brisk pace, ideally between 3.1 to 3.7 miles per hour, is recommended. Furthermore, frequent, shorter walks may elicit a better bone response than a single long walk. It is important to note that while walking is effective for hips and femurs, its effects on bone mineral density in the lumbar spine and forearm are mixed or limited. Walking alone will not reverse established osteoporosis, but can significantly help maintain existing density and potentially increase it in specific areas in terms of muscle strength and endurance. Walking engages various muscle groups in the lower body and core. These include the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, hip flexors, calves, and core muscles. This activity tones muscles, enhances endurance, and strengthens both bones and joints. While walking will not lead to the development of large, bulky muscles typically associated with weightlifting, it can increase lean muscle mass and functional strength, especially for individuals who are currently inactive. For more active individuals seeking muscle growth, walking workouts need to be vigorous enough to challenge the muscles, ideally aiming for 70 to 80% of heart rate reserved for at least 30 minutes, 4 to 5 days a week. To further challenge muscles and promote strength gains, individuals can increase their walking speed, add resistance, for example, using a weighted vest or light dumbbells, walk on inclines such as hills or stairs, or incorporate high-intensity intervals. Regular movement, including walking, has numerous positive effects on joint health. It is considered a joint-friendly, low-stress activity that can help individuals with arthritis reduce joint pain, improve function, and enhance mood. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, recommends that adults, including those with arthritis, engage in at least 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity aerobic activity and at least 2 days per week of muscle strengthening activity. Even short sessions of 5 to 10 minutes are considered beneficial. The musculoskeletal system exhibits an adaptive nature, meaning it responds and strengthens in direct relation to the specific stresses placed upon it. While a leisurely stroll provides general health benefits to elicit significant changes in bone density or substantial improvements in muscle strength, the physical stimulus must be sufficiently challenging. This is why factors like a brisk pace, walking on inclines, or incorporating added resistance become important. The body efficiently allocates its resources, leading to more pronounced improvements in areas subjected to greater and more specific loads, such as the hips during brisk, weight-bearing walking. This understanding highlights that a uniform walking approach may not be optimal for targeted musculoskeletal benefits. Instead, individuals are encouraged to tailor their walking routine, for example, by integrating brisk intervals, tackling hills, or even using light weights to achieve specific goals like preventing osteoporosis or enhancing functional strength. particularly as their fitness levels advance. This also implies that combining walking with other forms of exercise, such as dedicated resistance training, can provide more comprehensive musculoskeletal development. Exercise, including walking, significantly enhances the function of the immune system. This process begins with an increased heart rate, which facilitates greater blood flow and delivers more oxygen to working tissues throughout the body. This physiological response also impacts the lymphatic system, which carries lymph fluid, containing white blood cells and other crucial immune components, by increasing the movement of blood and lymph. Walking mobilizes a greater number of immune cells from lymph nodes and the spleen into the bloodstream. This heightened circulation of immune cells allows them to patrol the body more effectively, enabling them to identify and combat viruses and bacteria in a wider array of locations. This increased surveillance capability strengthens the body's defense mechanisms against potential pathogens. Furthermore, the beneficial effects of exercise on immune cell mobilization are not limited to the duration of the activity itself. Research indicates that exercise promotes a lasting presence of these immune cells for up to 3 hours after the workout is completed. This extended presence provides additional time for immune cells to identify unwanted intruders and helps in preventing illness. Consequently, maintaining a consistent exercise routine rather than sporadic activity leads to a more robust and vigilant immune system over time. Walking serves as an evidence-based intervention for significantly reducing symptoms of depression and anxiety. Meta-analyses have demonstrated substantial reductions in both depressive and anxiety symptoms when compared to inactive control groups. The observed effects are comparable to those achieved by other active controls, underscoring walking's efficacy. As a therapeutic intervention, even modest amounts of exercise can contribute to preventing depression. With 2.5 hours of brisk walking per week, associated with a 25% lower risk. The physiological basis for these mood-enhancing effects lies in the brain's chemistry. Walking stimulates the release of natural mood elevators, including serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins, which are neurotransmitters responsible for feelings of happiness and contentment. Additionally, walking helps regulate the production of cortisol, commonly known as the stress hormone. A walk of 20 to 30 minutes, particularly when undertaken outdoors, can significantly reduce cortisol levels. Beyond these biochemical changes, walking acts as an instant mood booster. Research consistently indicates a positive correlation between the number of daily steps taken and an improved mood. It offers a much-needed opportunity to decompress from daily stressors, providing a healthier coping mechanism compared to maladaptive responses such as emotional eating or substance use. A notable phenomenon is the mental health circulation loop. Depression and anxiety can negatively affect circulation by triggering physiological changes like increased heart rate, elevated blood pressure, and inflammation. By actively combating these mental health conditions, walking establishes a beneficial cycle where improved mental health leads to better circulation, which in turn further enhances mental well-being. The release of dopamine and serotonin during walking not only elevates mood, but also reinforces the behavior itself, fostering a desire for continued physical activity. Furthermore, walking outdoors, especially in natural environments, has been shown to significantly reduce stress due to the brain's positive reaction to such surroundings. This outdoor exposure also aids in the body's production of vitamin D from sunlight, which can help combat seasonal affective disorder, SAD, walking's impact on mental health is multifaceted, encompassing direct biochemical shifts, physiological improvements, and psychological benefits. The modulation of neurotransmitters and stress hormones represents a direct chemical influence on mood. Simultaneously, enhanced circulation and blood flow to the brain provide optimal physiological support for neural function. Psychologically, the act of walking offers a break from daily pressures and fosters a connection with nature, contributing to a sense of well-being. The observed mental health circulation loop highlights a reciprocal relationship where an improved mental state positively influences physical health, and vice versa, creating a reinforcing cycle of wellness. This comprehensive effect positions walking not merely as a physical exercise, but as a holistic biopsychosocial intervention. Its accessibility and broad benefits make it a powerful low-cost tool for public mental health initiatives, particularly given its effectiveness across various formats, indoor or outdoor, group or individual land, for both individuals experiencing depression and those without it. Regular walking significantly enhances cognitive function and overall brain health. It increases blood flow and oxygen to the brain, which in turn stimulates the release of hormones that promote the growth of new neurons. This process leads to improved overall brain function, including enhanced memory, attention, array, and problem-solving skills. Engaging in consistent physical activity like walking helps maintain brain volume and prevents the deterioration of brain tissue. This preservation is associated with a reduced risk of cognitive decline and age-related conditions such as dementia and Alzheimer's disease. A key factor in this process is the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor BDNF during walking, often referred to as fertilizer for the brain. This protein is crucial for the survival and growth of neurons and facilitates new connections between brain cells. Low levels of BDNF have been linked to various psychiatric disorders. Furthermore, walking and general physical activity may have a more profound effect on endothelial cell physiology and the genesis of vascular cognitive impairment (VCI) and on amyloid pathologies, suggesting a critical role in preventing microvascular pathologies that contribute to cognitive impairment and dementia. In terms of specific targets, approximately 9,800 steps per day may be optimal to reduce dementia risk, with a minimum of 3,800 steps per day associated with a 25% lower risk. Higher intensity steps tend to yield stronger associations. Notably, walking 7,000 steps daily has been shown to reduce dementia risk by 38%. Beyond foundational cognitive abilities, walking has been shown to significantly boost creativity and productivity. It enhances divergent thinking, which is the type of thinking that fuels creativity and generates innovative ideas. Research from Stanford University found that an individual's creative output increased by an average of 60% when walking compared to sitting. This positive effect applies both in real time and shortly after walking, and has been observed to generalize to outdoor environments. The act of walking appears to facilitate the free flow of ideas, the increased fuel in the form of oxygen and nutrients, along with the fertilizer of BDNF provided by enhanced cerebral circulation, creates an optimal environment for brain health and function. This physical nourishment directly supports the neuroplasticity essential for higher-order cognitive processes, such as creativity and problem-solving. It also contributes to protection against age-related decline by maintaining brain tissue, integrity, and vascular health. This understanding positions walking as a potent cognitive enhancer, not merely a preventative measure against decline. The capacity to boost creativity in real time and with a residual effect suggests that walking can be strategically employed for intellectual tasks, making it a valuable practice for professionals and students. The emphasis on microvascular health also highlights a critical, often overlooked, pathway for preventing dementia. Distinct from approaches primarily focused on amyloid pathologies, walking contributes significantly to improved sleep quality. It helps regulate the body's natural sleep-wake cycle, known as the circadian rhythm, particularly when performed in the morning or early afternoon. A brisk walk outdoors in natural light can assist in resetting the internal clock, leading to more consistent sleep patterns and deeper, more restful sleep. By reducing stress and anxiety, as previously discussed, walking indirectly fosters better sleep. Mental health issues like stress and anxiety frequently interfere with restful sleep patterns. Evidence supports this connection. A 2019 study observed that adults who incorporated an additional 2,000 steps per day, approximately 1 mile, over 4 weeks reported sleeping longer and better on the days they walked. Health experts suggest that even just 25 minutes of brisk walking can be effective in improving sleep. Daily walking significantly contributes to the long-term reduction of chronic disease risk. Taking more steps is associated with a reduced risk of cancer. Individuals who engaged in the highest total amount of daily physical activity showed a 26% lower risk of developing cancer. Furthermore, replacing sedentary time with light or moderate to vigorous physical activity is linked to a reduced cancer risk. The impact of step count is notable compared to individuals taking 5,000 steps per day. Cancer risk was 11% lower for those taking 7,000 steps per day and 16% lower for those taking 9,000 steps per day, with the risk reduction plateauing beyond 9,000 steps. This suggests that even less physically active individuals can lower their cancer risk by incorporating more walking at atomic pace into their daily routine. While the precise biological mechanisms are still under investigation, exercise is believed to lower cancer risk by helping to reduce body mass index, BMI, modulating hormones, decreasing inflammation, boosting the immune system, and improving digestion and metabolism. For example, it can help control insulin levels, and high insulin levels have been linked to cancer development. Physical exercise has also been shown to inhibit cancer cell proliferation and induce apoptosis, programmed cell death, beyond cancer. Daily walking significantly reduces the risk or severity of a wide range of other health outcomes. These include cardiovascular and cerebrovascular diseases, type 2 diabetes mellitus, cognitive impairment and dementia, osteoarthritis, and infectious diseases. Importantly, even modest increases in daily steps, such as moving from 2,000 to 4,000 steps, offer measurable health improvements. For instance, walking 7,000 steps daily is associated with a 28% reduction in falls. A significant observation from recent research is the dose-response relationship between walking and disease prevention, coupled with a plateau effect for certain outcomes. Studies indicate that walking approximately 7,000 steps per day provides substantial reductions in the risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, depression, cancer, and type 2 diabetes. However, for some conditions, such as cancer, the benefits tend to level off beyond 7,000 to 9,000 steps. This suggests that while more activity generally leads to greater benefits, there are diminishing returns after a certain threshold. The widely popularized 10,000-step goal, therefore, may not be scientifically necessary for many significant health benefits, and a more achievable target of around 7,000 steps can be highly effective. Furthermore, even small increases in daily steps, such as moving from a sedentary 2,000 steps to 4,000 steps, offer measurable health improvements, which is a crucial point for motivating individuals who are currently very inactive. This understanding is vital for public health messaging and individual motivation. It democratizes the benefits of physical activity, demonstrating that substantial health gains are attainable without requiring an often intimidating high step count. This encourages a shift in focus from striving for perfection to prioritizing consistency and underscores that every step contributes positively, particularly for those beginning their activity journey. Regular walking significantly contributes to increased longevity and promotes healthy aging. A study revealed that if individuals increased their physical activity to the level of the top 1/4 of Americans equivalent to walking 160 minutes per day at 3 miles per hour, they could potentially live approximately 5 years longer, increasing life expectancy from 78.6 to 84 years. For those currently in the lowest 25% of activity, adding an additional 111 minutes of walking daily could lead to even greater benefits, potentially adding nearly 11 years to their lives. Walking is recognized as a powerful tool for promoting healthy aging and preventing age-related diseases. It is a fundamental aspect of a healthy lifestyle. It's exemplified by populations in blue zones regions. It's globally known for high concentrations of centenarians who consistently incorporate regular walking into their daily routines at a cellular and molecular level. Exercise, including walking, induces a multitude of changes across various organs, far beyond those directly involved in movement. These changes assist the body in regulating the immune system, responding to stress, and controlling pathways linked to inflammatory liver disease, heart disease, and tissue injury. While not exclusively detailed for walking, general physical activity can promote DNA repair and mitigate oxidative stress, influencing cellular senescence. Exercise also positively affects mitochondrial function and cellular regeneration. For instance, studies have observed an increase in the acetylation of mitochondrial proteins involved in energy production in the liver, along with phosphorylation signals that regulate energy storage. These findings suggest improvements in cellular metabolism even in organs not directly engaged in the physical activity. Furthermore, exercise helps modulate overall metabolism and energy homeostasis, and can effectively control insulin levels. The longevity benefits of walking extend far beyond direct cardiovascular or metabolic improvements. At a fundamental cellular and molecular level, consistent walking induces systemic adaptations that enhance cellular resilience, optimize energy production, and improve the body's capacity to cope with stress and inflammation. This suggests a broad rejuvenating effect across the entire biological system. For example, the observation of changes in mitochondrial proteins in the liver, an organ not directly involved in the mechanics of walking, points to a widespread influence on cellular function. This understanding shifts the perspective from viewing walking merely as a disease preventative to recognizing it as a powerful modulator of the aging process itself. It implies that consistent walking might be influencing fundamental biological pathways that underpin healthy cellular function and extend health span, not just lifespan, opening avenues for future research into exercise mimetics for individuals unable to engage in physical activity, adhering to specific guidelines for duration, frequency, and intensity can maximize the health benefits derived from walking. For general health, individuals should aim for at least 30 minutes of walking a day on most days of the week. If completing 30 minutes at once is challenging, the activity can be broken into smaller bouts, such as 3 10-minute walks per day. The intensity of walking is a key factor. For significant health benefits, it is recommended to walk as briskly as possible. Brisk walking is generally defined as a pace where one can still talk but not sing, and may be slightly puffing. This typically translates to a pace between 2.5 to 4.5 miles per hour. The CDC recommends a weekly goal of at least 150 minutes, 2 hours, and 30 minutes. 300 minutes, 5 hours of moderate intensity aerobic physical activity, or 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous intensity activity spread throughout the week. Regarding step counts, it is important to note a common misconception. The widely popularized 10,000 steps per day goal originated from a Japanese marketing campaign and was not initially based on scientific research. This target is roughly equivalent to 8 kilometers or 5 miles. However, recent major studies, including a meta-analysis of over 160,000 adults, indicate that walking just 7,000 steps a day can drastically lower the risk of major health conditions. including cardiovascular disease 25%, dementia 38%, depression 22%, and cancer 6%, when compared to walking only 2,000 steps. Research also suggests that the benefits tend to level off beyond 7,000 steps for some outcomes, although more steps can still offer additional heart health perks. Even a modest increase from 2,000 to 4,000 steps offers measurable health improvements, which is crucial for motivating inactive individuals. For older adults, 60 and older, the risk of premature death tends to level off at about 6,000 to 8,000 steps per day, suggesting that 7,000 steps may be sufficient for significant benefits. For children and adolescents aged 6 to 17 years, the recommendation is at least 60 minutes of aerobic and strengthening exercise daily, equivalent to approximately 11,290 to 12,512 steps, with 12,000 steps serving as a helpful goal. Interval walking training (IWT) offers an enhanced approach to walking. This method involves alternating between fast and slow walking cycles. For example, 3 minutes of fast walking followed by 3 minutes of slower walking, for a total of 30 minutes, 4 days a week. TA has been shown to boost cardiovascular fitness, burn more calories, improve endurance and fitness capacity in a shorter time, strengthen leg muscles, lower blood pressure, and improve cholesterol and physical fitness for individuals with type 2 diabetes. This method effectively supercharges the benefits compared to steady-paced walking. The research highlights that our rigid 10,000-step target, while popular, may be unnecessarily daunting for many individuals, potentially leading to discouragement and reduced adherence. A more nuanced, evidence-based approach recognizes that substantial health gains are achievable at lower, more realistic step counts, specifically around 7,000 steps per day. Furthermore, the benefits are significantly enhanced by increasing the intensity of walking, such as maintaining a brisk pace or incorporating interval training. This understanding implies that public health messaging and individual goal setting should prioritize movement over perfection and focus on realistic, incremental improvements. Tailoring recommendations based on an individual's current activity level, age, and specific health objectives, for example, emphasizing briskness for bone health or interval training for cardiovascular fitness can greatly improve adherence and overall population health outcomes. The focus should be on consistent, moderate-intensity activity rather than an arbitrary high number of steps. Integrating walking into daily life can be achieved through various practical strategies. For commuting and errands, individuals can choose to park farther from their destinations, walk instead of driving when feasible, or get off the bus a stop early. During the workday, incorporating walking can involve taking lunch break walks, opting for stairs instead of elevators or escalators, and even walking and talking during phone calls. At home and with family, making a Saturday morning walk a family habit. Taking the dog on longer walks, engaging in yard work, actively cleaning the house, and playing with children can all contribute to daily step counts. For social engagement and enjoyment, Asking someone to walk with you or scheduling walking dates with friends can provide additional motivation and consistency. Common barriers to physical activity, including walking, can be overcome with targeted strategies. For those who perceive no time, monitoring daily activities to identify 30-minute slots and scheduling physical activity as a non-negotiable part of one's calendar can be effective. Individuals who don't want to do this alone can join a walking group or club. If feeling too tired, scheduling walks during times of higher energy or incorporating short bursts of activity, such as taking the stairs or brief lunch break walks, can be beneficial. For concerns about fear of injury, consulting a health professional for appropriate activities is advised, noting that walking is a low-impact and generally safe activity. For those who feel they lack coordination or can't learn something new, walking is a simple activity that requires no special skills or training. Finally, for individuals whose job requires travel or who are busy with young children, strategies include walking at airports or rest stops, finding mobile activities, trading babysitting time with friends, or making physical activity a family event. That the sustained adoption of walking is not solely dependent on willpower. It is significantly influenced by creating a supportive environment and integrating the activity seamlessly into daily life. Many barriers to walking are situational, pertaining to time availability, social support, or the physical environment. Strategies such as consistent scheduling, joining walking groups, and actively utilizing walkable environments have proven effective in overcoming these challenges. Behavioral economics principles suggest that making the desired behavior walking ease, attractive, social, and timely significantly increases adherence. This implies that public health initiatives and individual strategies should focus on nudges and structural changes, such as promoting walkable communities or implementing workplace walking programs alongside fostering individual motivation, emphasizing the intrinsic enjoyment and immediate benefits of walking, such as improved mood and increased energy, can be more powerful for initial adoption and sustained adherence than solely focusing on long-term disease prevention. Maintaining a walking routine over the long term requires a strategic approach that addresses motivation, consistency, and environmental factors. Setting specific, realistic, and measurable short-term and long-term goals, such as targets for distance, time, or steps, provides clear indicators of progress and helps sustain motivation. Establishing a routine is paramount, making walking a non-negotiable part of one's regular schedule by blocking out dedicated time helps it become a deeply ingrained habit. Choosing activities that are genuinely enjoyable is also crucial. If an individual dislikes running, forcing it will likely lead to disengagement. Trying new activities or cross-training can prevent boredom and work different muscle groups. Incorporating varied terrain, such as hills or trails, can further challenge different muscle groups and add interest. Social support can be a powerful motivator. Working out with friends or joining groups provides encouragement, accountability, and social enjoyment. However, it is observed that experienced walkers may rely less on external social support over time, suggesting that intrinsic motivation becomes more dominant as the habit solidifies. monitoring progress through tools like pedometers, fitness trackers, or activity diaries allows individuals to measure their steps, duration, and compare their achievements over time. Witnessing improved results can be a highly motivating factor for continuing towards new goals. Environmental factors also play a significant role in adherence. Utilizing attractive natural settings, safe walking paths, and varied scenery can enhance the enjoyment of walking and promote consistency. Preparing for inclement weather, such as having indoor alternatives or appropriate gear, can help avoid disruptions to the routine. Ultimately, fostering intrinsic motivation is key. Research indicates that individuals with stronger motivations related to obtaining personal health benefits, such as managing overall health or increasing energy levels, are more likely to initiate and sustain a walking routine. For those seeking additional guidance, a certified personal trainer or mental performance consultant can provide valuable assistance with goal setting and developing the mental skills necessary for long-term adherence. Daily walking, even for just 30 minutes, represents a profoundly effective and accessible intervention that yields extensive benefits across physical, mental, and cognitive domains. Stands as a powerful preventative measure against a wide array of chronic diseases. A significant contributor to healthy aging and increased longevity, and a potent enhancer of daily well-being and productivity. The evidence overwhelmingly supports walking as a cornerstone of a healthy lifestyle to unlock this cascade of positive health outcomes. Individuals are encouraged to adopt realistic goals, such as aiming for approximately 7,000 steps per day, and to implement practical strategies for seamless integration into their daily lives. By understanding the multifaceted benefits and committing to consistent daily walking, individuals can take meaningful steps towards a healthier, more vibrant future.